I swear to God I was joking. I was completely, obviously, 100% joking, and everyone is acting like I committed some kind of unforgivable sin against humanity. Men have absolutely zero sense of humor, like none whatsoever. You can't say anything remotely playful or teasing without them taking it as a personal attack on their entire existence, their masculinity, their worth as human beings. It's exhausting, honestly. It's like walking on eggshells every single second of every single day. I didn't actually want his brother. I need that to be crystal clear right from the start, before you form your opinions and make your judgments. I didn't want his brother. I just made a casual observation, a light-hearted comment, that his brother would probably get more right swipes than my husband if they were both on dating apps. That's it. That's literally all I said. It was a harmless observation based on objective physical reality. His brother is conventionally attractive. That's not an opinion. That's not me being cruel. That's just verifiable facts. I was simply acknowledging what everyone in the room was already thinking, but was too polite or too cowardly to say out loud. Everybody compares people. Everybody does it. It's human nature. It's evolutionary biology. It's how our brains work. We compare ourselves to others. We compare our partners to other people. We compare celebrities, co-workers, friends, family members, literally everyone and everything. It's what humans do. We're comparative creatures by design, so why is it suddenly a crime when I do it? Why am I the villain, the bad guy, the terrible person for simply saying out loud what everyone does in their heads all the time? The hypocrisy is absolutely unreal. His brother is attractive, okay? I'm just going to say it plainly. He's objectively, measurably good-looking. Better looking than my husband. If we're being completely honest here, if we're setting aside politeness and social niceties and just stating observable reality. And it's not my fault that genetics skipped my husband and gave all the good stuff to his younger brother. I didn't design their DNA. I didn't decide who got what features. I didn't sit in some cosmic control room determining which brother would get the good hair and which one would start balding at 25. That's just how biology worked out. Am I supposed to pretend I don't have eyes? Am I supposed to lie about objective physical reality just to protect my husband's fragile ego? It wasn't flirting. I need everyone to understand this fundamental point. What I said was not flirting. It was banter. It was playful conversation. It was the kind of teasing that happens at parties when people are relaxed and having fun and not taking everything so seriously and not treating every word like it's going to be analyzed and dissected and judged. If you can't joke around with your partner and their family, if you can't have light-hearted conversation without everyone acting like you've declared war, then what's even the point of having relationships? Why bother with any of it? Everything has to be so serious and formal and walking on eggshells all the time. That sounds like a prison, not a marriage. And honestly, he should have taken it as a compliment that I didn't actually swipe. Think about it logically. I acknowledged his brother is attractive, but I'm still with him. I'm still married to him. I'm still choosing him every day despite having options, despite being able to see that other men exist who might be more physically attractive. Doesn't that say something? Doesn't that prove my loyalty and commitment? I could have pursued his brother if I really wanted to. I could have made actual moves, sent secret messages, created opportunities, but I didn't. I just made a joke. A harmless, meaningless joke at a party with friends. That should count for something, shouldn't it? But nobody wants to see it that way. Nobody wants to acknowledge that I was just being fun and social and engaging in normal party conversation that everyone else was also having. No, instead, everyone wants to act like I declared my undying love for his brother in front of the entire world, like I proposed to him right there in our living room, like I announced I was filing for divorce to be with him. The dramatics are out of control. The overreaction is insane. I'll admit, I'd been drinking that night. A little. maybe more than a little. We had wine with dinner, and then there were those cocktails someone brought, good ones too, and I might have had a few too many. But that's what you do at parties, right? You drink, you relax, you let loose a bit, you lower your inhibitions and say what you're actually thinking, instead of filtering everything through 17 layers of politeness. And when you're relaxed and having fun, sometimes you say things that are a little bit edgy, a little bit provocative, a little bit risky. But that's what makes you interesting. That's what makes you fun to be around. That's what makes parties actually worth attending, instead of just being boring gatherings where everyone says safe, predictable things, and nobody ever tells the truth. And maybe, just maybe, I was already a bit annoyed with him before the party even started. He'd been on his phone all evening, barely talking to me, barely acknowledging I existed. We have people over, our friends, people we invited into our home, and he's sitting there scrolling through sports updates or work emails or whatever the heck is so much more important than actually engaging with the living humans in his living room. So, yeah, maybe I was trying to get his attention. Maybe I was trying to make him actually look at me and notice me and remember that I exist, that I'm his wife, that I deserve to be seen and heard and valued. Is that so wrong? Is it wrong to want your partner to pay attention to you? But of course, nobody wants to talk about that part. Nobody wants to discuss how he created the situation by ignoring me for weeks, by making me feel invisible in my own marriage. No, it's all my fault for having a normal human reaction to being ignored by my own husband at a social gathering where we're supposed to be presenting as a united front, as a happy couple, as partners. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. It happens in our living room during what was supposed to be a nice, casual, stress-free gathering with a few friends and his brother Jake. Just a small thing, nothing fancy or complicated. Pizza from that place downtown everyone likes, drinks, good conversation, laughter. The kind of evening we used to have all the time before everything got so complicated and tense between us, back when we actually enjoyed each other's company and could host people without it feeling like a performance. We're all sitting around, in various states of relaxation. Some people on the couch, some on the floor with cushions, Jake in the armchair by the window. Everyone's laughing, talking over each other in that comfortable way that happens when you're with people you know well and don't have to perform for. The energy is good, light, fun, exactly what I needed after a long week of work stress and marital tension. Someone starts talking about dating apps because one of our friends just got engaged to someone they met on Hinge, and everyone wants to hear the story, how they matched, what their first date was like, whether they knew right away or if it was a slow burn. The usual questions people ask about modern love stories. And then the conversation naturally evolves, the way conversations do, into everyone sharing their own dating app experiences from back before we all paired off and settled down. People are joking about their old profile pictures, laughing about bad dates they went on, comparing notes on what the dating world was like 5 or 6 years ago, before half the apps we use now even existed. It's lighthearted. It's fun. Everyone's engaged and laughing and sharing stories. The wine is flowing. The pizza is disappearing. It's exactly the kind of evening I wanted when I suggested we have people over. A break from the monotony, a chance to feel social and alive, and like we're more than just two people slowly suffocating in routine. And then someone, I honestly can't even remember who started it, makes a joke about what it would be like if we all had to go back on dating apps now. Like a hypothetical, you know? Just silly speculation. What would our profiles look like now that we're older? Would we even know how to flirt anymore? Would anyone swipe right on us? That kind of thing. People start joking about what their profile pictures would be. Someone says theirs would just be them in sweatpants, holding their cat because that's their entire personality now. Someone else jokes that their bio would be, looking for someone who's okay with early bedtimes and mild lactose intolerance. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's participating in this absurd hypothetical. And I'm sitting there, wine glass in hand, feeling good, feeling relaxed, feeling social and fun, and engaged in a way I haven't felt in weeks. And I look at Jake, my husband's younger brother, who is objectively, undeniably a good-looking guy. Like, there's no denying it. It's not an opinion, it's just observable fact. He works out regularly. He has good hair, the kind that actually does what he wants it to do instead of just existing chaotically on his head. He dresses well, like someone who actually thinks about his appearance and makes effort. He's charismatic in that easy way some people are, where conversation just flows naturally, and people are drawn to him. And I'm already a little annoyed with my husband, if I'm being honest. He's been on his phone for most of the evening, even though we have guests. Even though this was supposed to be US hosting people together, he's sitting there scrolling through God knows what. Sports scores, work emails, Reddit posts, who even knows anymore? He barely looks up, barely engages. It's like he's not even here, and I'm doing all the social heavy lifting, making sure everyone has drinks, asking questions to keep conversation flowing, being the actual host while he sits there in his own world. So the wine is making me bold, or maybe just honest, and I'm feeling this bubbling frustration about how he can't even put his phone down for one evening with friends. And I look at Jake, and the words just come out. Well, if your brother were on Tinder, I'd definitely swipe right on him. I say it with a laugh, with a smile, with the same energy everyone else has been using for this hypothetical conversation. I say it like it's just part of the game we're all playing, just another contribution to this silly speculation about who would get matches and who wouldn't. But the absolute second the words leave my mouth, the entire room goes silent. Like someone hit a pause button on reality. Like all the air got sucked out of the space. Like time itself stopped moving. Everyone stops talking mid-sentence. Everyone stops moving. All eyes turn to me, and I can feel the temperature drop 10 degrees, and I immediately realize I've made some kind of social error, stepped over some invisible line I didn't know existed, but I'm not entirely sure what I did wrong, because in my mind I was just participating in the conversation the same way everyone else was. So I laugh, trying to lighten the mood that suddenly got very heavy, waving my hand dismissively, like it's no big deal. Oh my God, calm down, it's a joke. Everyone knows he'd get more matches than most people here. I'm trying to make it about Jake being universally attractive, not about comparing him specifically to my husband. I'm trying to walk it back without making it obvious that I'm walking it back, without making it seem like I said something wrong. But I can see my husband staring at me from across the room, and his face is completely blank, not angry, which I could deal with, not hurt, which I could apologize for, just blank, empty, unreadable. And somehow that blank expression is more terrifying than any emotion would be. Jake, who had been relaxed and laughing just seconds ago, now looks away uncomfortably, suddenly very interested in the label on his beer bottle. He won't make eye contact with anyone. His shoulders are tense. He's clearly mortified, caught in something he didn't ask to be part of. Our friends are glancing at each other with these knowing looks, these, oh no, she really just said that expressions. That specific look people get when they're witnessing something they shouldn't be witnessing, when they're uncomfortable and wish they were anywhere else but here. But here's the thing, and I know this sounds bad, I know how this makes me look, but the wine and the attention and the thrill of finally making my husband actually look at me instead of his phone, finally getting a reaction out of him after weeks of feeling invisible. It pushes me further. I should stop. I can feel somewhere in my brain that I should absolutely stop talking right now. But I don't. I gesture toward Jake, my movements a bit too broad, my voice a bit too loud. I mean, come on, look at him. He's basically the upgrade package. Same family genetics, better execution. It's like comparing the standard model to the deluxe edition. Same features, but he actually maintained them. I laugh again, but this time I'm the only one laughing. The room is still silent, deathly silent. The kind of silence where you can hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen 3 rooms away, where you can hear someone's phone vibrating on the coffee table, where you can hear your own pulse pounding in your ears. Jake actually puts his face in his hands, elbows on his knees, like he wants to disappear into the floor. One of our friends, Rachel, I think, mutters something under her breath that sounds like, "Oh no," or maybe "not again." Someone else shifts uncomfortably, their leather jacket making a squeaking sound against the couch that seems deafening in the silence. And my husband just stands up, slowly, deliberately. His movements are controlled, measured, almost mechanical. His face is still completely blank, still unreadable, but there's something in the way he's moving that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. He sets his phone down on the coffee table very carefully, very precisely, like it's a fragile object that might shatter, and then he walks out of the room without saying a single word, without looking at anyone, just walks down the hallway toward our bedroom. I think he's going to sulk. That's what he usually does when we have a disagreement, especially in front of people. He removes himself from the situation, goes somewhere private, processes whatever he's feeling alone, waits for everyone to leave, and then we deal with it later in private. I've seen this pattern play out dozens of times over the years. This is his move. This is what he does. So I roll my eyes at the room, trying to break the horrible tension, trying to make light of the situation and get the party energy back. Ugh, he's so dramatic sometimes. Seriously. Can't take a joke. Men are so sensitive. But nobody laughs. Nobody agrees with me. They just sit there looking uncomfortable, looking at each other with these significant glances, looking anywhere but at me. Jake won't even acknowledge that I'm speaking. He's still staring at his beer bottle, like it contains the secrets of the universe. The silence stretches on for what feels like hours, but is probably only a minute or two. I take another sip of wine, trying to appear casual and unbothered, even though my heart is starting to pound with this creeping sense that something is very wrong, that I've miscalculated something badly. Then I hear footsteps coming back down the hallway, faster than I expected. He's returning much sooner than usual. Maybe he's going to rejoin the party and pretend nothing happened, I think. Maybe he's decided to be mature about this and let it go. Maybe he's going to model good conflict resolution and we can all move past this awkward moment. But when he walks back into the living room, I see immediately that something is different. Very different. He's holding something in his hand. Something glowing. Jake's phone. His brother's unlocked phone. Screen bright, and I can see from where I'm sitting that the Tinder app is already pulled up and visible, the familiar interface unmistakable. The room somehow gets even quieter, if that's possible. The kind of quiet where you're not even sure if people are breathing anymore. Where even the ambient sounds of the house seem to fade away. You could hear a pin drop in the next county. My husband walks directly to me, deliberately, calmly, and he holds out the phone to me like he's offering me a gift. "You want to swipe right on him," he says, his voice perfectly level, perfectly calm. "Go ahead." I freeze. My wine glass is halfway to my lips and I just freeze, unable to process what's happening. This isn't how this was supposed to go. This isn't the reaction I expected. Jake immediately panics. He jumps up from his seat. "Dude, what are you doing? Give me that." He reaches for his phone, but my husband sidesteps him smoothly, keeping the phone extended toward me, his eyes never leaving my face. "No," my husband says to his brother, still calm, still controlled. "She wants to swipe right on you. Let's see if it's mutual." Jake's face is bright red now. He's looking at me, at his brother, at our friends, back at me, completely mortified. "This is insane. Stop this right now." But my husband doesn't stop. He keeps holding that phone out to me, waiting, watching me. "You said you'd pick him," he says quietly. Said it in front of everyone. So let's see if he'd pick you back. That's how it works, right? Both people have to swipe, right? I try to laugh it off, but my laugh comes out high and nervous and wrong. Stop! This isn't funny anymore. Put the phone away. But my husband doesn't put the phone away. He takes another step closer and gently, almost tenderly, places the phone directly into my hands. His fingers are warm when they touch mine. He's not being aggressive. He's not being violent. He's being disturbingly calm, which is somehow so much worse. Come on, he says softly. Swipe right. You wanted this. You said it in front of everyone. Multiple times. So do it. Swipe right on my brother. I try to hand the phone back immediately, but he steps away, putting his hands up like he's refusing to accept a return. No, 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 you keep it. Show us all how you'd choose him over me, since that's apparently how you feel. I can see people in the corner with their phones out. They're recording this. Oh God, they're actually recording this whole thing. This is going to be everywhere. This is going to be on social media. Everyone we know is going to see this. Jake is pacing now, running his hands through his hair. This is messed up, man. This is so messed up. Give her my phone back. Why? My husband asks him, genuinely curious. She wants you. She said so. Why shouldn't she have a chance to pursue you properly? Isn't that what dating apps are for? Finding people you're attracted to? The phone feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds in my hands. I'm staring at the screen, at the Tinder interface I haven't seen in years because I'm married, and I don't know what to do. Every option feels like a trap. I try to hand it back again, reaching out to my husband desperately. Please, I didn't mean it. It was just a stupid joke. Take it back. He steps back further, keeping that distance between us. Swipe right, he repeats. Or admit you were just saying it to hurt me in front of our friends. I wasn't trying to hurt you. My voice is getting shrill now, desperate. I was just joking around. Everyone was joking around. Nobody else compared their spouse to their spouse's sibling, one of our friends mutters. I don't even know who said it, but it cuts deep. You wanted the spotlight, my husband says quietly. You wanted everyone's attention. You wanted to make a big statement about my brother being better than me. So here's your moment. Take it. Follow through. I'm trapped. Completely trapped. If I swipe right, I'm confirming everything he's accusing me of. If I refuse, I'm admitting I was just saying it to be cruel, to hurt him, to get attention. There's no way out that doesn't make me look terrible. My hands are shaking. The phone screen is blurring through tears that are starting to form in my eyes. This isn't fair, I whisper. Neither is comparing your husband to his brother in front of a room full of people, he responds instantly. But here we are. Jake finally steps in, his voice firm. Enough. This is enough. Give me my phone. But my husband still doesn't let him take it. He's looking at me with this expression I've never seen before. Not anger, not even hurt. Something colder, something more final. She's been obsessed with comparing us since the day you came back to town, he says to Jake, still watching me. Every time we're together, she finds a way to mention how much better you look, how much more fun you are, how much more successful you're doing. I've ignored it because I thought it was just her insecurity. But tonight she did it in front of everyone. So now everyone gets to see how it resolves. Jake stops trying to grab his phone. He goes very still, and something changes in his face. A decision being made. He looks at me, really looks at me, and I can see something like pity mixed with disgust in his eyes. Then he says, loudly enough for everyone to hear, I wouldn't match with her anyway. The room freezes again. Different this time. Colder. I feel like I've been slapped. Actually slapped. My face gets hot and my chest tightens and I can't breathe properly. What? Jake runs a hand through his hair, looking uncomfortable but determined. I'm sorry, but it's true. Even if I was on Tinder, even if I saw her profile, I wouldn't swipe right. I wouldn't match with her. My husband tilts his head, genuinely curious now rather than angry. Why not? According to her, she'd definitely swipe right on you. She's made it very clear she finds you more attractive than me. So why wouldn't you be interested? Jake sighs, a long, tired sigh like he's been holding this in for a while and is finally letting it out. Because she's rude, she's mean, she flirts with me to get reactions out of you, to make you jealous, to hurt you. And honestly, man, she treats you like garbage. The silence in the room is deafening. Someone's glass hits the coffee table with a soft clink. Someone else coughs uncomfortably. Every time I see you guys together, Jake continues, gaining momentum now, she's criticizing you. The way you dress, the way you talk, your job, your hobbies, everything. And you just take it. You just sit there and take it like it's normal, like that's what marriage is supposed to be. I want to defend myself, but my throat has closed completely. I can't make words come out. And tonight, Jake shakes his head. Tonight she compares you to me in front of all your friends, says I'm an upgrade. That's not joking. That's not banter. That's just cruel. That's her being deliberately hurtful because she knows it'll get under your skin, and she likes having that power over you. My husband is very quiet, just listening, his face still unreadable. So no, Jake says firmly, looking at me now. I wouldn't swipe right. Looks aren't everything. Personality matters. How you treat people matters. And honestly, from what I've seen, she's not someone I'd want to be around, let alone date. I feel bad for you that you're married to her. I feel suddenly, terrifyingly small, like I'm shrinking, like the walls are closing in and everyone is looking at me and seeing me for exactly what I am. And it's not good. It's not good at all. One of our friends nods. He's right. I've been wanting to say something for months, but it's not my place. But yeah, you treat him terribly. We all see it. Another friend chimes in. I didn't want to come tonight specifically because I knew you'd probably say something mean to him in front of everyone. You always do. The pile-on is happening now. Everyone who's been watching our relationship and keeping their mouths shut out of politeness is suddenly finding their voice. The way you talked about him at the last dinner party. The birthday thing where you made fun of his gift in front of everyone. That time you flirted with the waiter right in front of him. They're all talking now, all sharing their observations, all confirming what Jake just said. And I'm standing there holding his brother's phone, feeling the weight of everyone's judgment, and realizing that I'm not the fun, social, engaging person I thought I was. I'm the person everyone tolerates because they like my husband. I'm the villain of the friend group. While I'm still standing there in shock, trying to process what's happening, my husband finally moves. He walks over to the coat rack, picks up my purse, my jacket, and starts putting them into a tote bag we use for grocery shopping. The sound of items being placed in the bag snaps me out of my frozen state. What are you doing? He doesn't answer immediately, just keeps calmly gathering my things, my keys, my phone charger that was plugged in by the couch, the book I'd been reading that was on the side table. What does it look like I'm doing? He finally says, his voice still that same disturbing calm. I'm packing your things. Why? You can't. He zips up the bag and holds it out to me. I'm giving you what you're clearly looking for. Freedom to chase better options, to find someone who's more of an upgrade, to not be stuck with the standard model anymore. I drop Jake's phone on the couch and reach for my husband's arm, desperate now. You're seriously doing this over a joke? Over one stupid comment at a party? He pulls his arm away from my grasp gently but firmly. It wasn't one comment. It was dozens of comments over months. Tonight was just the first time you did it in front of witnesses who were willing to call you out on it. But I didn't mean it. I'm crying now, full-on crying, makeup running down my face. I was just trying to be funny. I was trying to get your attention. Well, you have it now, he says quietly. Congratulations. He hands the packed bag to Jake. Since she thinks you're the upgrade, you can be the one to walk her out. Jake immediately steps back, hands up, refusing. No, absolutely not. I'm not part of this. Don't drag me into your marriage drama. My husband shrugs like he expected that response. Fine, I'll do it myself. He picks up the bag and walks to the front door, opens it. The cold night air rushes in, making everyone shiver, making me shiver. What are you doing? I ask, but I already know. I can see it happening, but I can't believe it's real. Go, he says simply. Swipe right on whoever you want. Chase whoever you think is better than me. Find your upgrade, just not while you're my wife. You can't kick me out of my own house. It's my house, he says calmly. My name on the deed. You can come back tomorrow when you're sober to get your things. But right now, tonight, you need to leave. Where am I supposed to go? My voice is reaching hysteria levels. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care anymore. His voice is so cold it doesn't even sound like him. You've made it very clear that I'm not good enough for you, that my brother is better, that basically anyone would be better. So go find them. He sets the bag down on the porch outside. I look around the room desperately, hoping someone will intervene, will tell him he's being crazy, will defend me. But everyone is just staring. Some of them are still recording. Nobody is helping me. Please, I whisper, please don't do this. You did this, he says quietly. You did this to yourself. You did this to us. Tonight was just the final straw in a very long pile of straws. I'm done. I try to grab onto the door frame, but he gently removes my hands. Go. If you do this, we're done, I threaten, hoping it will make him reconsider. We're over. You understand that? Our marriage will be over. He looks at me for a long moment, and I see something break in his eyes. Not anger, sadness, deep, profound sadness. I know, he says softly. I've known for a while now. Tonight just made it official. And then he steps back and closes the door. I'm left standing on the porch in the cold night air, my bag at my feet, with all our friends watching from the windows. Jake's face is visible through the glass, looking miserable and guilty, even though none of this is his fault. My husband is nowhere to be seen. He's gone deeper into the house, away from the windows, away from me. Someone locks the door. I hear the deadbolt click into place with a finality that echoes through my bones. That was 2.5 weeks ago, 17 days to be exact. Not that I'm counting or anything. Not that I've been obsessively going over every detail of that night in my head, replaying every moment, every word, every expression, trying to figure out where it all went so catastrophically wrong. He's serious. He's actually genuinely serious about ending our marriage. I thought this was just him being dramatic, that he needed to cool off and would call me home. But no, his lawyer sent me paperwork. Actual divorce paperwork with all those terrifying words like dissolution of marriage and irreconcilable differences. Filed and official and real. I'm staying at a hotel because I have nowhere else to go. One of those extended stay places with thin walls and questionable carpet stains. It's all I can afford because marital assets get frozen during divorce proceedings. I can't go to my parents' house. My mom heard about what happened from someone who saw the videos that got posted online, and she called me sobbing about how embarrassed she is, how people at her book club are talking about it. My dad won't even talk to me. He answered once, heard my voice, said, "You made your bed, lie in it," and hung up. My friends have all sided with him, every single one. The girls I've known since college have unfriended me on social media, blocked my number, chosen him before the divorce is even final. I tried to reach out to Sarah, my supposed best friend, my maid of honor. I sent her a long message explaining my side. She read it and responded with 3 words, "You're on your own." The videos went viral. Not huge viral, but viral enough that people I haven't talked to in a decade are sending them with messages like, "Wow, you haven't changed," and "Your husband is a hero." The comments are brutal. Thousands of strangers calling me every name, saying I deserve this. There's even a whole discussion thread on some men's forum analyzing every frame, using me as proof of their theories about women. I'm not even a person to them, just a character in their narrative. Jake won't return my calls. I've tried 50 times. He blocked me after the first week. His girlfriend, who I didn't even know existed, wrote this long post calling me a desperate, pathetic woman who destroys her own marriage and then tries to drag innocent people down with her. The post got hundreds of likes. Everyone at my work knows. Someone sent the videos to my boss. I got called in for a meeting about maintaining professional image and being mindful of how personal life affects company reputation. I'm on thin ice. Someone wrote home wrecker on my car. I'm probably going to get fired soon. My entire life has imploded. Everyone thinks I deserve it, that this is justice, that this is karma. And the worst part, I still don't think I deserved this level of total destruction over what was supposed to be a joke. What he did was disproportionate, cruel, calculated, and designed to humiliate me as publicly and thoroughly as possible. Yes, I said something I shouldn't have. Maybe I took it too far. Maybe I had been making too many comparisons over the past months. But it was never serious, never real. I never actually wanted Jake. I was just frustrated with my husband for being boring and predictable and not giving me the attention I needed. People say hurtful things when they're frustrated. That's normal. That's human. You're supposed to work through it, go to counseling, communicate. You're not supposed to humiliate your partner in front of everyone, record them, kick them out, and file for divorce before they've had a chance to properly apologize. I just wanted him to try harder, to dress better, to be more exciting, to make me feel special, and wanted the way I felt when we first started dating. Is that so wrong? But apparently, wanting your partner to improve is now grounds for public humiliation and divorce. Apparently, you're supposed to just accept mediocrity and never express any desire for growth or change. Men are so fragile. Their egos can't handle even the slightest suggestion that they might not be perfect. One comment about his brother being attractive, and he loses his mind and destroys everything. That's not strength, that's weakness. That's a man who can't handle reality. He could have talked to me the next day when I was sober. Could have said, "What you said hurt me, we need to discuss this." We could have gone to counseling, worked through our issues like adults. There were so many better ways to handle this, but instead, he chose to humiliate me in front of everyone we know. He chose to make a spectacle of our private issues. He chose to weaponize our friends against me, to make me an example of what happens when you don't worship your husband properly. And now I'm the one in a cheap hotel room eating takeout alone, trying to afford a divorce lawyer, scrolling through job postings because I'm about to get fired, watching my life fall apart piece by piece. While he gets to stay in our house, he gets to keep all our friends, he gets to play the wounded hero, he gets sympathy and support, and people offering to set him up with nice women who will treat him better. Nobody asks why I was unhappy. Nobody asks what led to me making that comment. Nobody cares that I was lonely in my own marriage, that he ignored me constantly, that I felt invisible and unloved. Nobody cares about my side because I've been designated the villain. I'm the terrible wife who publicly lusted after her husband's brother. That's the story. Never mind the context. Never mind the months of feeling neglected. Never mind that it was a joke that went too far. None of that matters because the story is already written, and I'm the bad guy. But deep down, in those horrible moments at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep and I'm scrolling through old photos of us when we were happy, really happy, genuinely happy, I wonder if maybe they're right about me. Maybe I was cruel. Maybe I didn't realize how much those comparisons actually hurt. Maybe I took it too far more often than I remembered. Maybe I was so focused on what I wanted that I never thought about what he needed from me. Maybe I was so busy criticizing and comparing and complaining that I forgot to appreciate and support and love. Maybe I was so caught up in my own dissatisfaction that I became the thing making our marriage dissatisfying. Maybe the friends who abandoned me did so because they'd been watching me treat him badly for longer than I realized. Maybe Jake refused to talk to me because he'd witnessed more than just that one night. Maybe my parents are disappointed because they raised me better and I failed. Maybe I destroyed us. Maybe everything he did that night was just him finally refusing to accept being destroyed anymore. Maybe I pushed and pushed until he had no choice but to push back. And when he did, everything shattered because it was already so damaged. But I still think what he did was worse. I still think the punishment didn't fit the crime. I still think I didn't deserve to be humiliated that way, recorded that way, thrown out that way, turned into an